Well, everyone, you may have just picked up your Samsung Galaxy A14, and this is a really good priced budget phone. At $200, it's really not that bad of a deal. So, if you just picked it up, this is going to be a quick introduction on exactly how to go ahead and use this specific phone. Now, on the front, we have our display. It's a pretty decent panel, and you can see it's technically the Infinity U or V display that they used to have. So, not quite a hole punch, but if you think about it, for a $200 phone, it doesn't really look too bad. You have a little bit of a bezel around the phone. You have a little bit interesting bezel on the bottom. But regardless, there's really not a whole lot else going on to the front of this phone. On the left side of this device, we do have our little side here. It's almost like a flat side, but we do have our SIM card tray at the very top. So the very first thing I'd recommend doing as soon as you pick up this phone is to actually go ahead and insert your SIM card. So there is no SIM card, eject tool that I found in the box. I did have to go and get a separate one. So you can use a little needle at home or whatever it is. And all you want to do is you want to go ahead and right on the left side on the top right, you want to go or top left, you want to go ahead and pretty much just input your SIM card eject tool right there, and you will be able to take out your SIM card tray. Now here is where you can not only put a SIM card inside of it, but you can also put a microSD card slot inside of here too, which is actually very interesting. So you can do expandable storage on here. The bottom one is for your SD card. The top one is for your SIM card. So that is basically that. Pretty cool stuff. Now, if we go ahead and basically hop out of here and once you go and get it done, you can go and place it right back into where it is. And that is all you have to do here. Now, going back to the front, there's not, a whole lot else that I kind of mentioned. On the right side, though, we do have our power button and our volume buttons. So this is on the right side. So if you want to power on the phone, you can just go and click on the power button right here. You can go and power it on. You can power it off. The top little buttons here are for the power up, for the volume up and volume down. So nothing else super crazy there. On the bottom, we do have our charging port. So we have our USB Type-C port in the middle. We have a headphone jack on the right side, and we have a speaker grill on the left side. So you can go ahead and charge up your phone this way, which is really nice. And on the back, we have a very interesting texture. So this is a plastic back, but to be honest, it actually feels really nice. Like for a plastic back, it has this texture to it. It's like a vinyl type of thing. And for a phone of this price, it's actually kind of interesting. Now on the top left, we have a triple camera setup. So we'll talk about that in a second. We have a flash right here too. And we have the Samsung logo down here. So that is basically this phone on the exterior. Again, because this is a budget phone, I hope you don't expect this thing to be like the most expensive phone of all time. But because it is a cheaper phone, I'm sure Samsung is going to sell a lot of these units. Now, powering on this phone, after you go through your initial setup, you will have a few options of turning on your phone. You can double tap the display like this, or you can click on the power button. This is your lock screen. So basically on the top, you'll have your status bar. Luckily for you, with One UI, it's pretty much the same experience on all Samsung phones. So whether you have the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra or you have this phone, the experience of the software should be relatively kind of the same. So you have the standard logo up top, like the stuff up top. You have the time, date, and center, and notifications. You can tap on here to find more notifications. You can see your phone call down here and your camera logo. And if you're ready, you can go ahead and swipe up. Now, if you want to, you can actually double tap the display also to turn it off. So you can power it on like this and turn it off like that. Now, when you swipe up, this is how your phone should look like as soon as you boot it up. I have not set this phone up yet, so this is exactly what you should be seeing for the most part. Now on the top, you do have your status bar like I mentioned before. You should see your icons up here and the time on the top right as well as battery life. If you swipe down, you should actually be able to see your status bar as well as some more notifications. So you can swipe away notifications on the lock screen or here. You can also swipe down once more to get into your control panel. Now here you can go ahead and essentially modify your settings. You can modify your Wi-Fi if you want to turn it on or turn it off. Your Bluetooth if you want to turn on or off Bluetooth, you can just tap them on like this and it will go ahead and give you some other stuff. If you go and swipe down once more, you'll see a bunch of other things. You can go and swipe through and get access to a bunch of different things here too. You can even increase and or decrease the brightness just by going like this, which is honestly very cool. That's a very cool thing you have going here as well, which is honestly pretty awesome. On the home screen here, it's just your standard home screen. You will be able to hold down on your home screen right here, and you can go ahead and add in extra pages if you want to. You can go ahead and do a lot of stuff. It's honestly a pretty cool page that you have here. So you can also get access to all your other icons here too by clicking on the Play Store and opening the Play Store like this. So not unheard of stuff, but it's pretty cool for the most part. Now on the bottom, we do have our nav bar buttons. So here, if we want to open up an application like phone calls, if you want to call somebody, you can type in their phone number here. But let's say you want to go back home. We can click the center button here, which is the home button right here, and you can basically go back home. And this home button will always take you back home. So no matter what application you're in, if you want to go back to your home screen, you can just click over there and it will go ahead and open up that specific home screen. Now that's not all. Let's say we go and make our way over to the Google Chrome browser, and let's say we go ahead and open up a web page. So let's say we go ahead and open up the whatever this thing is, YouTube or whatever, right? And we want to go back to the previous page. Well, all we're going to have to do is go and click the back button right here. So what we can do is we can tap the back button and it will take us back to the previous page. So no matter where you go, you can just type in whatever you want to, or you can do whatever you want to, and you can just click the back button and it should take you to the previous page. And if there's no page to go back to, it'll just take you back home. Now this recent button here is very important as well, because let's say you're in the Chrome browser, right? And let's say you hop out and you want to go back into messages, but let's say you want to go back into your Chrome browser. Well, instead of going through and actually hopping back at home, finding the app and then clicking it, well, instead what you can do is if you already have it open, you can just click on the Recents button here and it will take you into your Recents panel. Now this panel has a lot of stuff going for it, and personally, I think this is one of the better panels you can get used to using. So for one, you can swipe through your different panels here, and you can find your other applications. So here, for example, you can go and tap into your Google Chrome, application if you want to, which is really cool. But there's a lot of other cool stuff here too. So this top panel is moving and you can swipe out of applications and close applications. And you don't have to do this, but it does save a little bit of RAM, which is kind of nice. So you can just hop out of all your applications like this. Now on top of that, what you can do is you'll see your recent applications at the bottom. So instead of going back home, what you can do is you can just quickly tap into these applications here and get access to your other applications just by going here. So it just shows like a recents panel, which is kind of nice. You can also go ahead and click close all, which will go ahead and quickly close out of all those applications. Now the next thing I'm going to go ahead and show you is if you want to see all of the applications that you have, what you can do is you can pretty much swipe up, just like how I did it. So just swipe up from the bottom like this, and you will get into all the applications you have on your phone. Now, if you ever want to search for an application that you can't find, just go and click on the search bar up here, and a keyboard will pop up. This keyboard is very basic. You can just type in any application. So you can just type in Google like this, and there you go. And you'll find a list of applications, and you'll find some other stuff, like some settings and stuff that is pretty cool as well. Now, guess what we have to do now if we want to get out of this panel? Well, we can just tap this down button right here, and we can click the back button, and we will come back to where we were before if we tap it a couple of times. Now this page has a bunch of different applications, so you can always just swipe through here and find all your apps. A majority of the time, all the applications that you download or update will be stored in this panel. So that's pretty much all you're going to have to do. Now you might be wondering, well, how do we go ahead and download these applications? Well, you can use the Google Play Store that I have here. Now I haven't yet signed into an account, but hopefully you have. So you can just sign into your account here. And all you want to do is pretty much just search up applications that you want to download. It's a very basic process. All your applications should be up to date for the most part anyway. So that is pretty much how to do that. Now, the next thing I want to show you, one of the final things, is actually within the settings panel. So this settings panel has a lot of stuff going on within it. So if we open up the settings application, this is one of the most important apps that you probably want to kind of know about. And in fact, so important that I would recommend following exactly what I'm doing. Go ahead and grab your settings application, hold it down just like this. So hold it down. And when you kind of get into that panel, just kind of swipe it around and you should see you're hovering over it. Now drag it up to the top portion and drag it somewhere onto your phone front panel. I would recommend having the settings application on your front panel because it's a very important app. Now open up the settings application like I showed you. You'll come to this panel. Now the first couple panels are stuff you may already know, like connections, like connected devices, like Bluetooth and whatnot. So you can go and get access to all of that. The top right though, if you ever want to search for an option, just go and click the search bar up here, and you should be able to search for different things around you. So you can search for, people, you can search for contacts, whatever the case is. You should be able to basically find, if you want to search for a setting, you should be able to find it here. Now going back down, we have a lot of different options, notification options, display options. If you want to tap here, you can turn on or off dark mode on your phone, which is pretty cool. So going back here, you have lots of other options, but the main thing I want to go and show you, and I would recommend spending as much time in the settings to get used to it, because every single Android phone pretty much has the same type of settings panel. So if you get used to it on this phone, you get used to it on another one, and it's a very, very basic thing to keep in mind. Now, what I would recommend doing is swiping all the way down on your specific, settings, and click on Software Update right here. Now, when you get into this panel, what I would recommend doing is clicking Download and Install. And I would highly recommend downloading and installing the latest update for your phone. Now, if you don't have an update, like I don't have an update, then you should be okay. But if you do have an update available, just go ahead and update your phone, and that should end up fixing, some of the problems that you have as well. So that's basically the main way of how to use this phone. It's very basic. again, the best thing to do with these types of phone is just get your feet wet. Just go ahead and just jump into the ecosystem, explore around, just kind of see if just kind of see what's going on. And if you run into any problems or questions, I have my second channel that kind of explains things further. But you can also leave a comment in the comment section, and I'm sure somebody will go down there and help you out. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.